Run for your life. You got another day coming.
Alright, so now we're going to show you how I made the KJW MK2 from this into this beautiful, brutal, nearly silent workhorse. So now we're going to go ahead and take it apart. So this is the first time I'm taking it apart, so I'm kind of doing this by guessing. But you take this back piece off, I'm guessing, pull this out, pull that down. I believe yeah, there it is. There's the spring. There's a spring that actually, this is where, this is what controls the hammer inside the gun, which is right here. But that's what controls the hammer. Might be what changes the FPS of the gun, and that's what I'll be working on in case I use this in CQB. Oh, the whole upper and lower come apart now, so I just pushed it forward. Whole upper and lower come off. You can see there's the hammer, which we're going to go ahead and look at this with the magazine inside. So it's a very, very easy system. It basically hits the back of the magazine and it releases the gas out the front. The BB is in front of this gas release and goes out of the inner barrel. Now, that's obviously pretty loud. I'm not sure if it gets louder or softer because of this, so I'm gonna just go ahead and see if it... Okay, so actually, it doesn't hit whatever the stopper is in here. So I don't have to worry about that for when I am actually firing BBs out of the gun. So never mind. But that is incredibly loud. That'll be a good indication that you are out of ammo. That ting. So I'm guessing we pull this piece out, which is metal, and I will be taping this so this doesn't rattle around anymore, because that is very, very incredibly annoying. That's basically all broke down. You can actually get to the hop-up right here now. You can see inside the hop-up. It's a very simple system. Hopefully you can see the actual hop-up pushing down into the barrel. Move it around a little bit. It just looks like a little dot, a little space inside the barrel that's pushing down. It's not a very good hop-up, it looks like. But actually it's pretty darn accurate. I might change out this hop-up for... Apparently I've heard that the KJW M700 hop-ups work in this, so I'll see if that does. I'm also going to go get the hop-up adjuster and see if that takes off the barrel. These are the two Allen keys that it comes with. This is the hop-up adjuster Allen key, which I'm pretty sure... Yep, it does. It does remove the lower Allen key. Sorry, Allen set screw thing. Faded. And then, literally that's the only thing that's holding this in. So you actually just pull this out at this point, and you have an entire barrel assembly. And your barrel assembly also moves around inside the gun, so be careful of that. Don't let that happen. But I'm going to keep it the way it exactly was. What we will be doing for this video is probably going to take off this, I'm going to take off this sight too, actually, because I'll be moving this sight to something else. So what we'll be doing in this video is basically putting on some sort of threaded barrel adapter on here somehow that will match this. So we're gonna go see if first I want to see if a AEG barrel will fit inside of that. So I'm gonna bring a couple over and see what happens. You know what's gonna help us out today is this, which is a micrometer. We're gonna measure the outside of this. 21.8. millimeters. 21.8, 21.7, looks like 21.8. Also measured the inside, which is 13.1. 13.1. So 13 basically on the inside. We also measured the outside this, which should be 13. Also, it's 12.6, so it's in between 12.6 and 13.1 for the inside, and the external is so again 21.8, or we'll measure the internal of this. Move that back. 21.8, or should be 21.8, 21.9, about 22. So anything in that range will work. We're gonna go ahead and give that a try to find a barrel that'll match this. So what I have here is a really old barrel from just an AEG. This one is, it's 17.4. This part is 18.4, 18.3. Wonderful. And the internals are 8, which is a problem. I can always hone out the internals to basically the same, I hope. And this is actually a bull barrel front from a SR25. So this one is 18.8, 24, 18.8. So that's 18.8 is the external of this one. Basically everything I've seen so far is 18.8. So we're going to give this a try and see if I can cut this up and put this on there. Literally always use eye protection. I can't stress that enough. Even when grinding, even when just cutting things, any metal shards, it's not worth the risk. And it's just, 3 seconds to put eye pro on. Alright, so that's, I can fit around that, but can't fit around that, so what I have to make work is this. So I have to basically find a drill bit the size, that's actually almost right, to the micrometer. Even if it's not called that, I'm gonna call that for the sake of this video, because that's what I remember it as. So 12.6, it's a 12.6, and this one is a 12.5. Perfect. The main reason why I'm actually doing this with these pieces is actually because what I've seen online so far is all of these pieces, all of the suppressor adapters for the MK2 and the MK3, sorry, the MK2 and the MK1 have been plastic. So you just have this metal piece on a plastic, and suppressors are usually metal. So they're going to de-thread them very easily. And I was very upset by that, and so I thought, well, I could probably build a better suppressor. And suppressor adapter, and we're gonna see if I can actually. All right, next one is, this is still still has movement in here. Okay, good idea, because I hate drilling and tapping and everything on pot metal, because it usually, if not always, will just de-thread itself eventually. What I'm going to do instead let me try to explain this. So there's this. This actually is not threaded. It's threaded, the barrel is the piece that is threaded itself. So this is not threaded. So what I'm going to do is try to put this nut behind it. But this is just close enough to the same width as this is. The nut will not fit. So what I'm going to do essentially is at the bottom here, I'm going to file down and set the nut inside and then slide it on and then try to do it that way. So what I'm going to do is drop this screw in there and then just crank it down on this. And now the outer barrel does not move, does not wobble, does not do anything. Inner like barrel housing, I guess you could call this. Whatever this thing is, doesn't move either. So they're both really tight in there and done. That's very cool. So that is the outer barrel system. So that's what it looks like so far. Thing done on this. Look at that. That looks absolutely awful, actually. But that looks totally dumb. But it will end up beautiful. That was our first step. Second step is the RMR, and third step is the rail. But actually, you know what? I kind of want to finish the rail all together. This is the lower rail that I was going to put on here, or I was going to put a actual lower rail attached to the barrel. So what I'm doing now is I'm cutting down a lower rail because I didn't like the way the other one fit. Because remember, I'm going to need a Kydex holster this, so if I don't think the other thing would let me. So I'm cutting the other side. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is put, so right there, what I've cut this for is at least this screw will go through that hole, hold this on, and then I've cut the other side so it will not interfere with whatever suppressor I use in the end. And then probably I'm going to drill and tap this and see what happens. We'll see. So the other thing I'm going to actually do, I'm going to start right now, is I'm going to take off this rear sight because we will be putting, and so the rear sight actually, so it comes up and then just like a real 1911, push it out to the side extremely hard and then it will come all the way out. So what we'll be doing is essentially putting this RMR onto here. How? I am not exactly sure, but what I'm going to do so far is I'm going to try to sand this down so it is inlaid into the, sorry, go and sand it down so it's in the actual upper, and then on top of that, after sanding this down, I'm going to put 2 screw holes in the actual material, which seems to be very well built. I actually want to see if this is steel. So it is not, it's just aluminum, or it might be pot metal. But it is actually extremely durable, extremely heavy, really well anodized. I'm very impressed, and I hate to sand it down. At the same time, I really do want to get that RMR on there, because the RMR not only has reflex sight, it also has a rear sight built into this particular Leopold RMR. It's a DP Pro Leopold, has a rear sight built in, which I have taken off of here because I was using it on a Glock, which you couldn't use the front sight. But if I inlay this enough, this front sight will actually be high enough to match with it, so that'll be very cool. Now we're moving on to the next step, which is the RMR up here. Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of sanding. I mean, in reality, I'm just going to be going back and forth on this piece. Weird. Alright, so this is fast forwarded a little bit. I didn't record a few things. Basically what we did was drill and tap these 2 screws right there into the upper. And drilled and tapped both of those. I like that. Then drill and tapped this one as well, and drill and tapped this one as well. So 4 of them into the 2 into the barrel and 2 into the actual upper receiver, and then attached this Leopold DP Pro, which has a rear sight on it and a obviously a red dot. And so now I'm using the front sight, and we just moved it back quite a bit from the original where it was in the original barrel, and it works with the rear sight of this, which is great. If you can see it, let me make sure you can see through that. If you can see, you can actually see the front and rear sights, which is great. Anyway, so very cool. Has the suppressor adapter on here now. Everything's pretty solid, and we will be epoxying these things to make sure they're staying in there, and this to stay in there, and everything else. After that, I've already test shot it with the suppressor on there, and it's a lot quieter, which is great, but I'm going to show you guys after it's all done tomorrow, after it's all done epoxying.
If you would like to see a review of this gun, there are links in the description below for a long and short review of it, and there are links at the end of the video in the upper right and upper left hand corner for, again, a short and long review of this gun.
So, thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in for some gameplay footage of this, and some other reviews, and some other modifications. So please like and subscribe, that really helps me stay motivated. And thank you for watching, and play honorably, play hard, and remember to have fun. This is Hero, signing off.